Good morning, Academy 55, and everybody else who's watching the live stream on YouTube and all around the world. My name is David Karn. It is Tuesday, the 10th of June, 2025. It's now 5 to 8 in the morning here in the UK. We're looking and following the EUR USD on the 1 minute time frame, following the Academy 55 indicators and strategy. So, what can we see this morning? Well, before we do anything else, let's take the indicators off just for a minute, and we will go have a look at the bigger picture and see what's going on. So I'm on the daily time frame at the moment, and here we've been the highest we've been for a long time. As you can see, I'm on the weekly time frame now. Ever since from there to there, that was back in 2021. So we are reaching highs now for the last 4 years. But regardless, we are on the daily time frame, and there are no imbalances to be seen anywhere near not on the daily. So we'll go down to the 4 hourly, and we are in the area of consolidation. We got imbalance down here. This is needs to be filled eventually. So we'll put this rectangle in there from that wick there. This candle here is all in balance. Let's get the right conditions. It's a buy, FVG, fair value gap, same thing as in balance. So that has to be filled eventually. I only do these on the higher time frames. So let's put it on the line chart. And anything with two or more anything is near with two or more points is worth pointing out. So here, it's been resistance there, so that's quite an important area. Also, at the top here, where price is now, resistance there, resistance there. So we go down to the hourly. Tighten that up a little bit, just there. Been bouncing and breaking. And also, I wouldn't say that's okay. So we come down, take the, put it back on the candles. And we go down to the 5 minute time frame. And we find that we have a buy zone here. And a sell zone up here. I think it'll be incumbent on me to put the next buy zone in down here also. But we have large imbalance on this candle now. And as we know, when we have a large on the downside, from there to there, it usually likes to go to 50% and then go back down again. So we could find that sort of situation happening. But I think it'd be prudent of me to put a horizontal line on the 50% of the fib, because that's where price could actually go to, because that's a pretty important line anyway, because price is holding around there and it could indeed go back again. So we'll go back down to the minute. We've got all the information that we require. Well, not all the information, but there's the information that we want. Let's put the indicator back on again. And there we are. So if we was to have a buy, for example, I'll be looking at that area there. I'd want to get into, well, hang on. Let's just put a long position there. Keeping 2.2 pips away, minimum distance. So in anticipation of that going green, yeah, your 2-to-1 be up there. That's the sort of scenario we'd be looking at. But I'll be wanting, yeah. So yeah, that's the sort of situation I'll be looking at for a buy if one was to happen. Going on to the MT4 now. Make sure your Bristol reward is in purple. Your lot calc is in purple. The little square thing here is in purple because in case you need to close all trades. And like I said, I'd keep a minimum of 2.2 pips away. In this little box here, it says stop loss, right? 2.2, 2.2. Come off that. Oh, hang on, I must have had it locked. Indeed, I've got it locked. Make sure it's unlocked. So it's floating. 2.2 equals 2.2 pips away. Hang on, why is it not doing it? It's locking it automatically. Try again. 2.2. There we go, that's better. So now I'm 2.2 pips away. In anticipation of that maybe going green, green, green for a buy and a big buy alert down there, just in case that happens. But we know we've been the highest now for 4 years. I suppose it all depends on what turmoil Donald Trump can cook up for us today as to what happens with the dollar. But basically, it's been very bad news for the dollar. That's why the euro is so high. This is where we are now for a waiting for the next buy, because that's the way the system works. You get a sell alert, you get a buy alert, you get a sell alert. So the next one has to be a buy. We're too late for that sell because this is the buy zone anyway. We've got a buy zone down here as well. Are they going to be taking orders from there and also there? Because zones are order blocks. It all depends. What we don't know is how many orders are here as opposed to there. If there's more there, they might leave that alone for later, or vice versa. If there's more there than there was there, they might take that out and react off these orders here, but eventually looking to come down to here to take these orders. We don't know. But I just noticed we have a key zone there. Anything with 3 zeros at the end of it is a psychological area where longer term traders, shorter term traders will be looking to take, and investors be looking to take trades out, starting new fresh trades, that sort of stuff. So it's a psychological level. And as you can see, we are near that area there with that. So this area here is a bit tasty, shall we say? But it looks like we're coming into the buy zone to take some orders. So we're in the buy zone now. So if a buy does happen here, we have a 75% win rate of it getting to 2%. In actual fact, because that Fibonacci I took from the high to the low has gone even lower now. Oh, going to take that down to 4 zeros, the key area there. And look, our entry at the moment, well, it would have been. But we've got taken a lot of orders here now. Definitely into the buy zone. There is no red flag news making this, but and yet we've got a 95. That's a 18 pip move in the space of 3 minutes. So that's how much volume there is kicking around. Now it's tapped into this buy here now as well, so I'll get rid of that. Personally, I am on to doing this live trading. I'm on a 6% for my 10% target I have for the month. So from a personal point of view, I'm in no rush to jump into any trades. Well, I'm not anyway, usually anyway, but trusting the system, trusting the strategy. I only need 2 more wins and I've reached my target, and it's only the 10th of June. Even at the end of the week, it'll still not even be halfway through the month. So I am in a good place at the moment. And as you can understand, we like good places and we want to keep good places. But at the moment, we've got a deep sell going on. So let's go on the 5 minute. Take the indicators off because we only work the indicators on. Look at that. All in the space of a few minutes. But it's creating imbalances here, look, that need to be filled. And also we've got imbalances up here, which is good. It's just a matter of when they wish to fill them. And now we're in the buy zone. So we'd be confident of taking the next buy. So let's go on a 15-minute. Let's we're going lower and lower. So this is this the trend until New York opens at least? Deeper sell. Let's go on the hourly. See, we could be coming down to here, these levels here even. Let's scrunch it up a bit. I noticed. Oh no, we haven't. That was in balance until that wick came to sort that imbalance out. See that how that wick came down to sort the imbalance on that candle there. So there's no imbalances that need to be filled, not on an hourly, 4 hourly. Like I said, we've not. There's no imbalances on the 4 hourly, except this big one down here, obviously. Do they intend to get there for New York opening? Who knows? But we're deep in the buy zone now. So all we have to do is concentrate on the next buy if indeed it does happen. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but the way it is, they could have set their stalls out early to sell off the euro, start the week as they mean to go on. In which case, we've had a nice sell here. I wonder if that was a. I'm just going to put the time machine on a minute. This area here, 7 o'clock this morning. See what happened at 7 o'clock. Put the 5 minute on. There's no zones, is there? Play it along with it. No zones to play off. No. But till you get to 20 past 7, and then we was in a sell zone. So let's put that time machine back on again. Sell zone there. Let's go to the minute. Oh, we know what happened, don't we? That's cheeky. That spike there could have taken some people out with commission. May have done. Debatable. It's right on the where you would put your stop loss. You get into the trade about there. Two to one is down there. And as we know, that would have been, well, yeah, I would say you'd still get away with that. That spike there is still quite a distance from the stop loss. Lay it on. As we know, it was a successful trade. There we go. But now, yeah, but now we're looking for, oh, right. Oh, blimey. There we go. So we're way down here now. Still on a deep volume sell. We're in the buy zone, so we're waiting for a next buy, if anything. That's just the way it is. Trade what you see, not what you think. See, they've created all these imbalances up here that will have to be filled. But is London going to fill it or New York? London's concentrating on bringing the euro down a bit. And maybe leave it up to the New York session to fill in all these gaps. Don't know. If you're watching on YouTube, please don't forget to subscribe and share and hit the bell. And then by hitting the bell, you'll get a little notification of next time I'm on. Most mornings, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, usually around 8 o'clock a.m., 8 a.m. UK time, depending on if there's any red flag news that morning, or even if I just want to change it up a bit and do a different time. But I try to keep it regular because between 7 and 9 in the morning is when we get on the EUR USD, we get a trending sort of more than a considered. All this is consolidation. So between 7 and 9, usually we get a trending market, a little bit more than a consolidatory market. Doesn't always have to be the case. I shall do what it wants to do. But usually we find that. So that's why I usually train between 7 and 9. All trades on here are for educational purposes only. Showing off the Academy 55 indicators and strategy, and been going since February 2024, and we've been doing very well. Every month has been a positive month. Even one month we got 1%, but 1% is not that great, but it's a positive. And 1% on a realistically still on a $100,000 account is $80,000. $80,000 equates to about 650 quid. So if you got $100,000, even though you got 1%, £650. I mean, a lot of people here in the UK could do a lot with 650 quid a month. And that's just the 1%. So even then it was a positive. Anyway, what we're doing now is Waiting for the next buy alert if indeed we do get one. Ah, there we go. Just as I said it, it appeared. No, I'm not in control of it. I promise. Oh, there it is again. So we'll put our MT4 on. And just see what happens, I guess. If anything, I mean, if they are wanting to go lower now and wait till New York, any news, a news item could suddenly do all that in one go. I've seen it happen many times before. But we got the buy alert now, but we have to be governed by the trend line, the volume ribbon. But being on the minute time frame, these things can happen quite quickly. So we'll keep it there. So if anybody wants to chat, you can chat to me on YouTube or anybody watching me. Yeah, on YouTube there's like a 10-second plus delay, usually. Or there can be. But we've got people in the Zoom link with me, and it's a little bit right. Okay, things are happening. So this is where I want my stop loss to be. But as you can see, we've got to be governed by. So it's going to be a big stop loss. I'll just bear that in mind again. Bring it down to that again. It's going to be a big stop loss because price will be up here before I get in, and then I've got to watch out for this line here. See, obviously price stalled around here, but I need confirmation that we are indeed going for a deeper buy. The volume ribbons just started to turn green, but I've got to be governed by the green volume ribbon, green trend, green wave. If we get that far, but by that time, price could be up here, and we'd be looking at like a 6 pip plus stop loss, I guess, if we do indeed continue going up. Got imbalances up here, which is good. So there's reasons for price to get up to that area. The wave has just started to turn green. So I'm going to put my stop loss. That's where my stop loss will be there. I'll be concerned about price when it gets to this level here because this is where it leveled off. Will it be getting to there and coming back down again? But at the same time, we only have a 1 minute time frame. Sorry, lost my train of thought there. Now, this trend line could go green at any time. Like I say, I want to give it a little bit more. We only have a 1%. So I'm going to give it about 5 or 6 pips now in anticipation of this trend line turning green. quickly look on the 5 minute. So you've got I'm going to give it a little bit more, I think. Bit more of a confirmation. At the end of the day, we've only got a 1% risk in the trade, and 1% is nothing. Being cautious as ever, looking for confirmation. Prepared to give it a little bit more of a room between stop loss and entry. A lot of people might be in already. And they're saying, come on, David, get in. But, and I will, I'll get in now. This is where we are. We've got imbalance up here, which is nice to see. Let's oh, there we go. That's where I got in there, isn't it? Sorry, I'll make this a bit bigger. 5.5, wasn't it? So yeah, that's why it's down there. That's it there. 2% drags you all the way up here. And just below the purple line on the 1 minute, which is good. Is price going here to meet our purple line again? Certainly hope so. In our trade together, which will be nice. Also, we got get rid of that. We've got imbalances here, just here. Yeah, so that's, but we've got that psychological level there. But I could see how price respects the purple line, loves the purple line. So hopefully it's loving the purple line enough to go and visit it again, which is above our 2%, which would be nice. But price will do what it's going to do. It's all about timing. Hopefully they'll do that within our trade time. But at the same time, there's imbalances down here that need to be sorted out. So could we see a scenario where it comes down here and then goes back up again? Because there might be more orders down here. We will, wow. But at the end, like I said, at the end of the day, it's just 1%. And indeed, the trend line has turned green. So I'd be getting in there anyway. I was anticipating, obviously, back here because it went horizontal, but yeah, it went green and now it's facing up, which is good. But, things can change. Donald Trump might step out of the shower or stub his toe and, oh, that bloody dollar. Or the euro or whatever, And if it's reported what he thinks, or what certain people of importance think, the market will pick up on it and act accordingly. And we don't know that. I wouldn't want to look in Trump's bathroom, to be fair, but you know what I mean. If he says something derogatory, guy's a loose cannon. It's ridiculous. There's no stability in the world now. I'll widen this a bit. But this is where we are now. We're floating along this line here, as you can see. There we are. That's my MT4 version. But I've got this area here to worry about where we are right now, really. Hopefully there's going to be enough oomph to want to take it up, but we shall see. At the end of the day, it's 1%. And a 1% loss is really no big deal. It's not enough to alter your mindset, put this strategy and the indicators in doubt, because indeed, if you didn't have the experience, that's what it would do. Oh, this strategy is rubbish. Well, no, it ain't, because I'm here to, and with all the live trades I've taken since February 2024, well over a year, all the back testing I've done, the only thing that changes this strategy isn't the strategy or the indicators, it is what's going on in your mind. I think once I get to there, I'll be happy. Well, no, I'm not even going to do that. I'm not even going to put my stop loss to my entry because I'm fairly comfortable taking a 1% loss if indeed that's what happens, because a 1% loss is nothing. We have trades sometimes we can make that 2% within 5 minutes. Sometimes it works out like that, and sometimes it takes over an hour. I think average is about between 20 and 30 minutes a trade, averagely. But the time it takes should not be of importance. What is important is you recognizing the stumbling blocks that you may occur during a trade, and you act on your own experience and your knowledge of what could happen and your own level of cautiousness and the fact that you want to keep your equity. It's all down to you at the end of the day. Like I said, these are for training purposes only. Ultimately, you shouldn't be in a situation where you follow any one trader with a trade, because this is my eyes, what I'm seeing, and I'm trying to convey it to you to give you guys a heads up in experience. But ultimately, we'd like you to use your own experience to say go yay or nay. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to open the chat line to everybody, all the Academy 55 members who are watching me live, they can type, and anybody in YouTube, you can chat to me about what you've seen here. And I can see both chats. So if anybody's got anything to say, please do so now. Otherwise, it's a very rainy morning here in Cornwall, where I live on the southwest coast of the UK. This is where I live. Lovely part of the world, but not today at the moment. Hope it's nice wherever you are. But ultimately, what I say many times is true. I would be going to look to make a cup of tea or a cup of coffee now and just leave it do its thing. Because the only thing you get by watching this is a risk of you messing around with your mind. You've already made your decision what you're going to do. See, we're leveling off now, just like we leveling off here, just like we leveled off over there. We leveled off over here, now we're leveling off over there. So obviously this area here, although the numbers don't significantly mean anything to us, it does to somebody. And I was stalling, picking up more orders, then coming back down again. I hope not, but we don't know. Because we have, like I said before, we have created imbalance down here, but there we have got imbalances up here as well. So it all depends when they wish to do these things. What time of the day? I mean, do they want to do these imbalances because they just heard New York is going to be buying the euro, so we're going to go even higher? Or are they going to sell the euro? So, we don't know. We don't know. But at the end of the day, we know we got a 75% win rate because price went into the buy zone on the 5-minute time frame. But that ultimately means 25% risk of loss. But the odds are in our favor. But we're like we were stalling there, we're stalling here now. Is there enough buy orders to negate that and get up to our 2%? Like I said, I certainly hope so. We'll see. We know we've got a 75% rate of indeed that happening. So at the casino, if you was playing blackjack or roulette with a 75% chance, you'd give it a go, wouldn't you? But you'd lessen your odds, lessen your risk, shall we say? And we've done that there with only the 1%, because it's still a risk. But everything else that is involved, i.e., the only 1 or 2 trades a day, the low monthly target, when you combine all that, as I have proved to you time and time again through my journal, and I encourage you all to have a journal of your own. Back test, put the results in the journal. So as I say, as I've done for many months now, going after a small target, doing it that way, you will indeed end up being a winner. But, there are some people on here who may have a different idea. That's fine. If you have a different idea, what I would say to that person who has a different idea, stick to that idea they've got and backtest the hell out of it before committing. And if it works for them, that's fine. But this is what works for me. And it has done for a lot of members in our Academy 55 group. But yeah, stalling here. Are we going to go down again? Or is it going to be enough volume to actually pick us back up to maybe, hopefully, visit the purple line? I'm going to go on silent in a minute and just let you keep watching, and we'll see what happens. Actually, this line here, yeah, it's a bit dubious. I'm debating whether to put my stop loss just below that parabolic SAR there, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to. I'm going to stick to what I've said, try not to contradict myself. Because again, this is what happens when you watch a trade. It plays tricks with your mind. We've already made our decision. We've already accepted the fact there could be a 1% loss. And now all of a sudden, I'm thinking, overthinking it. Because effectively, price, and I've seen it many, many times before, price could come down here, which time you would have been taken out, and then it goes on for higher things. But now I am, yeah, because I'm watching it with you guys. Even an experienced trader like me has been thinking things through. So I'm going to put my stop loss to my entry because of these parabolic SARs here as well, apart from anything else. So now I'm in a happy position now where I have got a risk-free trade going on. And I'm happy with that. And hopefully we'll have enough oomph to get to the purple line. And obviously my 2% is just underneath it. In which case, as you can see here, I would have won $2,140.92 on a $100,000 account. And if it loses, well, with the commission and all that, probably about $18, $20, something like that, which is nothing. And also, if the price comes down to push that parabolic up above price again, then a deeper sell could be taking place, and then I fear that we could be coming down to take these imbalances out, which would be unfortunate. But the first rule is protect your equity, which we've certainly done. Second rule is protect your equity. Get the picture. Because this area here is obviously an important area. I'll show you again. This area here and this area here where prices bunching up. But there we go, made my decision now, so I'm just going to let it play out one way or the other. So I'll put myself on mute. We've got no questions yet, which is all right. Okay, that's cool. Once again, if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe, hit the bell. Oh, see that? There it's flipped out now, look. This could be where I break even. Hope not, but you never know. Because we've got imbalances down here now, look. Whatever the price is doing, it's doing it cautiously. Because like I say, sometimes we see big candles like this proudly marching on down or up or whatever. It's doing everything really, really cautiously. Still at the beginning of the week. Things are leveling off now. The dollar is rising again. Well, it certainly is, or trying to. Yeah. And because the dollar's rising, that's what's pushing the EUR down. But things change on a second to second basis. That's why every morning we look at the bigger picture. It's important to look at the bigger picture. But again, we are getting into consolidation around here, picking up orders. Are they sell orders or they buy orders? At the moment, the sell orders, look. So this is an area just where price is stalling. And hopefully it'll work in our favor because I've got my stop loss to, like I said, it's risk-free, but I can well see price coming down here and taking me out or break even. And then there's a risk of it wanting to go for these imbalances down here as the dollar strengthens again, weakens the euro. But like I keep saying, we've got a 75% chance of a win. But I don't know what the percentage is of it break even. That's the thing. But I've done that because, yeah, there we go. I think we're going to break even because if price is coming down to visit this trend line here, obviously that'll take us out. And it could go beyond, like I say, into deeper sell again. So I'm prepared for a break even trade. But hey, that's the way it goes. Or I could come down here again. Uh, there we go. I'm out. Because we've got the sell alert. Now let's say, interestingly, let's put it on the 5 minute. Oh, there's no sell zones. Sell zones still up here. But so I broke even on that trade, as you saw. The way it goes. I'm still 6% on the month. Like I say, I need 2 more wins. And I've reached my target. I'd love to know your thoughts. If anybody wants to put in the chat. I mean, people, different traders do different things and think differently. Obviously, we're all human and do different things. Hindsight will tell me whether that put my stop loss there was a good thing or a bad thing, but that's hindsight. I've responded to the first rule of trading, and that's protect your equity, which is what I did. So I'm no problem. I have no problem breaking even there whatsoever. But we could be responding off this trend line now, bouncing off there, and then going back up. But it doesn't matter because I'm out of the trade now. And of course, we got the sell alert. But just like this one, it might not come to nothing until we get another buy alert. But, you know, anyways, we have broke even. And I'm sure by watching this, it ain't doing diddly squat. Sure, we've all got other things to do today. So you might want to chance your arm at 230 or beyond on the US 100, or obviously wait until price gets into these zones again, whether it be the sell zone or the buy zone. And what you do is you get a horizontal ray, put it on the bottom of the sell zone, for example, right click, add alert. So if you're away from your computer, you will get an alert when price enters that zone, and then you can analyze the trade and act accordingly. So apart from that, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day, and we'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.